Hi everyone. We're going to determine the height of an aircraft with this word problem using the law of sines. We have two sensors placed 700 feet apart. So there's one right here and there's one right here. Okay? When an aircraft is nearing the airport, the angle of elevation, so here's your plane over here. So there's your airplane. Okay. The angle of elevation, so looking up from this sensor, remember angle of elevation means you're looking up, is 20 degrees. And from the second sensor, it is 15 degrees. So basically we have to find the height. And since we actually have two separate triangles, what we're going to do is have two equations, and we're going to set them equal to each other, find the x, and then solve for h like we did in the previous problem. What I did is I took the liberty of taking this triangle out and separating it out so you can see it better. So this is x, and if this is 20, then this angle here has to be 70 degrees. So this is going to be 70 because the sum of the angles have to equal 180. For this one, this angle here, I'll do this in blue, this angle is going to be 5 degrees. No, say. So this one's going to be, just a minute. So this whole part here is going to be 75. So this right here, this little bit would be 5 degrees. So we're going to have equation 1, like we did in the other word problem, and equation 2, and we're going to solve this accordingly. So we're going to go, you might want to write these two triangles down because we're going to the next slide. Okay, so for equation 1, we're going to use the law of sines. And equation 1, we're going to use sine of 20 over h equals sine of 70 over x. Now, we're just going to solve for x. So x equals h times sine of 70 degrees, these are degrees, over sine of 20 degrees. So all we're doing is separating out the x. So that's equation 1. Now equation 2, we're going to do the same thing. We're just solving for x. So we have sine of 15 over h equals sine of 75 over x plus 700. Again, that's just from the two triangles that I drew here. Okay. Now, solve for x. So we're going to get x equals h, we cross multiply, sine of 75 over sine of 15 degrees. Now that we solved for x, we have two x's. We're going to use substitution and just set this equation to equal this one and then solve for h. So basically that's what I'm going to do on the next slide. So when I set them equal to each other, I have h times sine of 70 over sine of 20 degrees equals h times sine of 75 degrees over sine of 15 degrees. Okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and subtract the 700 from this one. What I'm going to do, let me fix this. This one right here, what I should have done, and I forgot to do it, I should have subtracted the 700 here. So it's going to be x equals this minus 700. I forgot that. All right. Here we go. That's just cross multiplying. All right, go back here, and we're going to have this minus 700 here. All right. Now, I'm going to group The reason I did it is because of these two H's here, and I want to group them together. So I'm going to move this quantity over to the left-hand side and factor out an H. So I factor out an H, and then I'm going to have sine of 70 degrees over sine of 20 degrees minus sine of 75 degrees over sine of 15 degrees. Okay, equals negative 700. Now to remember, the H was supposed to really go here when you subtracted, but I went ahead and did 2 steps and factored it out right here. So this is my H I factored out. All right, now solve for H. So basically it's just this, H equals negative 700, and you're just dividing both sides by this whole quantity here. So, and you get to use a calculator. So you have sine of 70 degrees divided by sine of 20 degrees minus sine of 75 degrees over sine 15 degrees. Now I already did this, but when you do this, what you might want to do is just figure this out and put the value there and then use your calculator. But what you're going to get is you're going to get this equals approximately 710.97 feet. Okay? Thank you and have a nice day. Bye-bye.